Hello, welcome back to Brown Girl Blue. My name is Tabitha, and this is my little book of childhood JW memories. So, I wanted to talk about a memory that I consider pretty good. Uh, do you remember? I'm sure you do, going to our summer district convention meetings. That, for my family, was like a summer vacation. And my favorite thing was to be able to travel, so doing something new, and we never lived in the area. We never lived in the same town as where the convention was hosted. The closest I remember is being like 3 or 4 hour drive away. So we would go to a summer convention, and the summer convention, for those who may be watching this channel who or have never been associated with the Jehovah's Witness organization, the summer convention is the summer conference where Jovinuses who live in a particular area are assigned to go to different convention centers in the same region, and they have a themed convention that is determined by the governing body, also known as the leadership of this organization. And the conference, I think I remember was like 4 days. I think it was 4 days. I think it was like Thursday to Sunday, if I remember correctly. And it was a pretty big deal. You would try to, that was a very big push for our families to go to that to get the latest updates about where the organization was going, right from the leadership's agenda, right from their mouths. And if you didn't have the money, that was what you saved your money to go to, is making sure that you can do all that you can to get to that district summer convention. I remember this is before the days of Zoom or Teams or video conferences. You had to go in person. Otherwise, you would get the information secondhand, or people would tell you about it. Or also, they would get like new publications and things that will also be presented at these conventions. So my favorite thing about going to those conventions was the fruit bag. So during the intermission lunch period, and I don't remember how long we got for lunch. Again, I was a child when I was attending these things. But I just remember I loved the fruit bag. And you only get the fruit bag during the summer convention. And the fruit bag would consist of, it was using an apple, a really great navel orange, really nice and plump and crisp, like really just like burst, but they were so juicy. The green grapes and the nectarine. And the nectarine was my favorite piece of fruit out of that bag. And it was always in this clear plastic bag. And I think it was like $1 or $2. I know it was one of the more expensive items. So let me back up a bit. So during this summer convention, volunteers, which is everyone in the Jovinuses organization, would come together, and I think they were like assigned congregations who were in charge of food for these conventions. You could always go to the different restaurants in the area, but there was a lot of food in the convention as well. And like people would bake cakes, and they would sell it by the slice. I think there were sandwiches and other different types of food products. Definitely, sodas and bottles of water, a lot of things that were donated to the convention. But then you had to pay for these items to cover the costs. And I just remember my favorite thing about the summer district conventions was the bag of fruit in that plastic bag. Like, as long as I could get that bag of fruit, I was happy for the rest of the convention. Sometimes I would get 2 bags. My family there were 6 children and my parents, and so money was really, really limited as far as what we could spend on. My mom would, she would pack all of our meals for these, for the convention. We have a big old Coleman cooler, and be like fried chicken and boiled eggs and egg sandwiches, all kind of stuff. Gallons of cherry Kool-Aid, and so my mom had that covered. But what I love, like my kind of treat yourself, from the perspective of a child, was that bag of fruit. And I remember when I would get the bag of fruit, and it just seemed like all the driving, all of the, having to get my hair pressed, or also known as straightened, for little black girls, with that hot comb Going through that just to look your best to be the most perfect vision of a Jehovah's Witness family. I got a new dress. My mom would make our clothes. She made me a new dress with the shiny black shoes and all the pretty ribbons in my hair. Like going through all of that. All of it was worth it as long as I could get that bag of fruit. That was my absolute favorite. My other thing that I remember about those conventions is I didn't mind the dramas. They used to do like a Bible-based drama, and it was very connected to whatever the theme was of the convention. And it was like a theatric production. The lights would go dark, and you have this bellowing voice. It was a narrator telling the Bible story, and to me it was like a show. So I loved the fruit bag, and I loved the drama, the Bible theater productions, just because it was like going to a regular show. And there was of course we can pick apart some of the references that were made and how they want people to think. But just from the surface, looking at the play, the Broadway production of the Bible stories, and then that fruit bag. Boy, as long as I got that fruit bag, that convention could last 7 days. As long as I had that bag of fruit, it was so good, and it's what I always look forward to every summer convention. Even if I can get the same fruit at home. You can get apple, orange, nectarine, grapes in any grocery store. There was something about, because it seems like they picked the most perfect fruit for each bag. And so like the nectarine was picked at its prime ripeness for consumption. It was like the skin was perfect, and I could smell it, and it was so sweet that first bite. And then the grapes were perfect. Oh, sometimes I think you get a banana sometimes too, I think, if I remember correctly. But, getting that 4 or 5 pieces of fruit and that bag, it just made the whole thing worthwhile. So that's another memory from my little book of childhood Jehovah's Witness memories. The summer district conventions for me, the fruit bag, and the free show at the end. Totally worth it. That's it for today. Please share with me in your chat your memories of going to those summer district conventions, and because I know every convention was different as far as what was available, but I think the fruit bag was a common thing that was available, because we used to travel and go to different conventions throughout the country, and I remember always having access to that clear plastic bag of fruit. You remember getting that, or any memories from those times? Please share in the chat. I want to hear what your perspective was of going to those coveted summer conventions, and that was the Jehovah's Witness family summer vacation, and making sure you made it to that 4-day summer district convention. Please like and share if you find this meaningful, and just maybe bring up a funny memory for you. Please share. So that's it for Brown Girl Blue. My name is Tabitha, and thank you for watching. See you next time.